Wow, does that drama ever illustrate what a lot of us experience, especially early on in marriage? You know, Jack's out playing golf instead of getting ready for small group. And in a way, you know, I kind of experienced that.
Well, whether you've been married for a number of years or you're experiencing the anticipation of marriage, this is an important time to really examine your differences, because those differences are for a reason. They're to complement one another, and it's like a dance that we learn over time. In fact, it takes a lot of practice, experience, understanding one another's needs, and then we get the rhythm down.
You know, the scripture is very, very clear about marriage, and all the way back in the book of Genesis, here's what we read. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother, will be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh. You know, there's a sequence of leaving and cleaving and then becoming one and united in that flesh. And Scripture says becoming naked and unashamed. But you know what, folks? It takes time and it takes adjustment to get there. And what Barb and I have learned in coaching families is that it really takes a teachable heart and a teachable spirit. As you're fleshing out all these differences and all these different expectations with each other, we want to coach you with some takeaways and some coaching tips in order to equip you to have a great marriage.
Well, you're likely coming from two different backgrounds, and that's important because we're different. But what happens is we try to change one another. But the best part is when we try to seek to understand those differences and to come together as one.
And as a husband is learning more and more about his wife, what we need to do, guys, is to be attentive to her. We need to be tuned into her. Sometimes that's a little bit difficult. You know, guys, one time I was chatting with a guy and he said, Rosberg, I just don't know what my wife wants. You know, I try something on a Monday and it works, but then on a Tuesday, it's like she moves the goalpost and I'm kicking the ball in the wrong direction. You know, another guy said, you know, Gary, I will do something for my wife, you know, one day and it seems to work, but the next day it's like I'm starting all over again. You know, the bottom line is it can be difficult, but we need to be discerning to identify what does our wife need. That is the mystery of marriage.